I realized yesterday when I was telling a story about this other serial killer that's still alive, I kept saying he was. And it's like, the guy is still alive, Ellie. Why are you killing him? Hey guys, it's Ellie. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing well. I wasn't able to do videos yesterday because I got my nails done. I had to run some errands. I started taking some biotin, and literally it's growing like crazy. Like I'm just growing hair in places that I should not be growing hair. But if you guys are here for the first time, my name is Ellie Arket. I'm a psychic medium, a manifestation coach, and founder of Arket Cosmetics. On this channel, I like to sit down, do my makeup, and talk about a true crime case at the same time. If you guys are interested in content like that, I highly suggest to give this video a like, subscribe, and the beautiful thing is that I use my own makeup line and skincare line, so everything's going to be in the description box down below. I have incredible skincare and incredible makeup. Everything's vegan. Everything's vegan, organic, cruelty-free. And I will list everything that I'm using in the description box down below. Let's get into it. I'm going to do an orange look today. So I'm wearing my orange kimono. Show you guys the back of it. I have a jumper on and my tits are always out, so I thought to put this on to be a little bit more presentable. I have no accessories on. I just realized that, but it's okay. We're going to go with it. So today's story is about an 8-year-old that was murdered now supposedly by another child, and he is 14, I believe. I don't know how I feel about this story in itself. I watched this actually on Bailey Sarian's channel last night. The reason I want to do this video on my channel and talk about it, because as a psychic medium, I just don't know if the person that was convicted is the actual killer. You guys feel me on that? I just got this weird feeling that it's not him. So we're gonna get into it. Start with my skincare. You guys already know I have 24 karat gold collagen day serum, night serum, hyaluronic acid, avocado oil, jojoba oil, vitamin E. I have this incredible soap. Wash my face and body with, and you will look stunning and flawless with my skincare products. Get it, girl. EYESHAODW.com. So on November 3rd, 1988, in a very nice neighborhood, Lakewood, Jackson, Florida, an 8-year-old girl by the name of Maddie Clifton was playing outside in the lawn, and this was like a normal thing. The kids all played together, all the neighbors. It was a nice neighborhood. Everybody knew each other. And around 5 o'clock or so, or maybe a little bit earlier, like 4 or 5, her mom, Shelly, comes to tell her to come in, you know, let's like come in, let's go get dinner or whatever. And when she comes outside, her daughter is nowhere to be found. So she goes outside and looks for her and stuff, and starts kind of asking the neighbors a little bit like, hey, have you guys seen Maddie? And they're like, no, we haven't seen her. Now you guys have to remember, it is November and the sun goes down like at 4 o'clock, so it's kind of like getting dark, or it's already dark. The mom just gets this really awful feeling, and she immediately calls the police. Like, she doesn't even waste any time. I think that she does contact her husband, like, you need to call me like right now and stuff like that, and then she calls the police. So the police comes and they start going door to door to the other houses, and they're like, hey, have you seen Maddie? And they're like, no, we were all playing, and you know, everybody went inside, so they have no idea where Maddie is. This whole thing is really strange for this neighborhood, especially. Like I said, everybody knew each other, all the kids played with each other. The police starts going to the you know, next door neighbors across the street. There's no trace of Maddie. Pretty soon this turns into a huge search, a frenzy. At the time, this was a huge story. I mean, people, the whole neighborhood, they started getting involved, and people volunteered, and people started looking for Maddie, and they literally couldn't find her anywhere. It's like she just vanished. You guys imagine that your 8-year-old daughter is out in the lawn, and then you go outside to tell her to come inside to have dinner, and she's nowhere to be found. She's 8 years old, okay? There was somebody in the neighborhood that people were suspicious of because this person had had a criminal record, but pretty soon, I think his name is Larry or something, pretty soon he gets cleared that he had nothing to do with it. Now, there was a boy that lived across from Maddie, and his name is, I realized yesterday when I was telling a story about this other serial killer that's still alive, I kept saying he was, and it's like, the guy is still alive, Ellie. Why are you killing him? You know what I mean? I think it was like a subconscious thing, like I wanted him to like not be alive because of what he had done. But anyways, I need to be careful how I'm wording it. So this guy, there is a guy, Jesus Christ, it's like early in the morning and I can't think. There's a guy by the name of Joshua Phillips. Now, this guy at the time was 14 years old and he lived across the street from Maddie Clifton. He apparently was a really good kid. There was never any problems with him at school. He and his mom were actually living in absolute fear from his dad, and the guy, the father, Joshua's father, was a functioning alcoholic drug addict, and so he already knew not to do anything because his dad would severely beat him or like beat the mom or whatever. So he was just always like, he wasn't allowed to play with other kids. He wasn't allowed to go anywhere, do anything. When the dad was at work, like the mom and Joshua would only be allowed to go to work and then for him to go to school and then be back. So they weren't allowed to do anything and go anywhere. And also the father, Joshua's father, hated little girls. For me, this is when the story got a little weird because my psychic mind started like turning. This guy, Joshua Phillips, was literally scared out of his fucking mind. Like he would never do anything because his dad was this tyrant and an alcoholic drug addict, and they were afraid. They were afraid of him, like the mom. They were afraid of him, so they didn't want to, you know, rock the boat. They didn't want to do anything, obviously, right? So anyways, so the search is going on for Maddie. They literally have no idea what happened to her. It's almost like she disappeared in thin air. Nothing. There's no leads. They have no idea who could have done anything like this, like where she is, if she's still alive. It's just like was this big mystery. Like I said, everybody was very involved. This case kind of reminds me of Gabby Petito, where all of us just got super involved, and there was this huge search, like other people, like, you know, like strangers just rallying and, you know, going out there and trying to figure out what the hell happened to Gabby. It was like that kind of a feel to this story. So anyways, one day Joshua's mom goes upstairs to clean Joshua's room. Now she notices that there is this really weird smell. I mean, yeah, he's 14 and teenagers are stinky or whatever, but there's this kind of a weird smell in the room, and he has a 14-year-old boy, which is so very weird. He has incense burning in his room, and there's a lot of Febreze. Like he had been like spraying Febreze in his room on his bed, and she thought that was so weird and that was so odd. And then first she was like, well, maybe, you know, his room is really dirty and really smelly, so that's why he's doing that, because he doesn't want to get in trouble with the dad or with the mom or whatever. So she starts cleaning the room up, and then as she's cleaning the room, she notices that there is this puddle of water in front of the bed. Now, Joshua had a water bed, and which I don't even know what the hell that is. There's like water in the bed. I don't know. It's like a water bed. So the mattress has water in it. I guess it's like for comfort. That would literally, like when I think about it, it would make me just get like seasick. Like I can't, like if I'm on a boat or something, I gotta take one of those pills. I'm gonna throw up big time. Like I can't imagine sleeping on something that's gonna be moving and stuff. Like no bitch, that's not for me. That's definitely not for me. So anyway, so the mom is like, you know, looking and trying to figure out what the hell, where this water is coming from. I gotta put my eyelashes on and I'll be right back. So if you guys don't know, my eyelashes are vegan, cruelty-free, handmade from silk. I'm gonna put these on and I'll be right back. Mom is cleaning and sees this water. She looks under the bed and she sees like a sock or something like that that's like stuck to underneath like the bed. And she tries to pull on it and it won't come off. And then she moves like the panel to the bed or something like that. Like the way this panel is crisscrossed or something to hold this heavy mattress in place because there's water in the mattress because it's a water bed. So anyways, she pushes on it and it comes undone like really easily. And the panel comes undone. She notices there's something attached to the socks, and when she pulls on it, like I said, it was like kind of loose or whatever. After the panel came off, there's a body, and she literally freaks out and she runs outside screaming or whatever. She calls the police and says there's a body under my son's waterbed and I don't know what the hell this is. Is this Maddie? And so the police comes and they get the body from underneath, and basically they find out that it's Maddie, and the town just goes nuts and everybody like just collapses with so much sadness because they were so desperately hoping for her to be found alive, you know? So she was murdered and stuffed under Joshua's bed. So the police went to Joshua's school. They arrested him in front of everybody, and when they questioned him and stuff like that, basically he said something like, I wasn't allowed to play with anybody, but Maddie came to the window and kept saying to me, can you come downstairs and play with me? Joshua tells the police that Maddie came to the window and was like, please come downstairs and play with me or whatever. And then, you know, Joshua was like kind of scared because it was kind of getting close for his dad to come home from work. But she was just like, come on, like I'm bored or whatever. So he went downstairs and played like baseball with her. So when they were playing, apparently, according to his story, he hit her accidentally and she just started like screaming and crying because like obviously it hurt. She got hit in the face. He didn't know what to do. So he took his baseball bat, according to him, and started beating her. He continued doing that. Now he's 14 and she's 8. He continued doing that until she stopped crying because basically he killed her. So that's what he told to the police, and he got arrested. Now, this is where for me the story doesn't make sense. Why would he do something like that? You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make any sense. He's never had any issues. He's never done anything. He's never showed any type of violence towards anybody. And it just doesn't make any sense. I think, this is my theory. Now, I don't know if I'm right, if I'm wrong, disclaimer, this is just my theory, okay? I think that something happened, and I think Joshua's dad killed Maddie because it says in the reports, Joshua's dad hated little girls so much. Like he hated kids, but like especially little girls. So I think something happened and he flipped. He's already a drug addict and an alcoholic and extremely abusive to his own son and his own wife. So it's like, and he hates little girls. I feel like something happened and he killed Maddie and then stuffed her under his son's bed and had his son take the fall. Honestly, God, that's what I think, you guys. I don't know. I'm gonna use amber for my lips. This is everything I use on my face is my own products, but this is one of my favorite colors. I think it's gonna look really pretty with the makeup, which is so weird as I'm saying that because I'm talking about like a little girl getting killed and getting stuffed under somebody's bed, and it's just like insane to me. So let me put this on and then we'll continue. Oh my God, yes. This color is so pretty, especially if you have like dark hair or blonde hair. Stunning. I look stunning, but the story is really sick. Joshua Phillips was tried as an adult, even though he was only 14 years old, which is so sad. This trial was moved from the Duval County, Florida to Polk County over concerns about the publicity in Jacksonville. Phillips' lawyer did not call a single witness for the defense, a move the prosecutors later said was a surprising and a risky strategy. Nicholas intended to base much of the defense on a closing argument to the jury where he stated Clifton's death was an act that began as an accident and deteriorated through panic and bordered on madness. According to Phillips, Nicholas never attempted to question him over the events of the murder and only played chess with him when visiting him in prison prior to the trial. Melissa Phillips disagreed with Nicholas' strategy, though Steve insisted on letting the lawyer do as he pleased. Nicholas discouraged Phillips' parents from allowing him to testify. This is where it's weird. This is why it's weird to me. So Joshua's parents didn't want the lawyers to question Joshua, because I think if they questioned him, if they were going to allow him to like testify, he was going to maybe break under that and was going to say, well, it wasn't me. I think it was his dad. Honest to God, you guys, I think it was his dad. Okay. So yeah, the parents were like, they don't want him to testify. Phillips never spoke during his trial. The trial started on July 6, 1999 and lasted only 2 days, an unusually short time due to the defense calling no witnesses. If they had called some witnesses saying like, he's never had an issue, he's never showed any type of violence, he's never done anything to anybody, but they didn't do any of that. It's so fucking sick to me. Juries took just over 2 hours to convict Phillips of first-degree murder. He was later sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. He was not eligible for death penalty as he was under the age of 16. During the trial, the defense attempted to introduce scans from a neurologist showing bilateral lesions on the frontal lobe of Phillips's brain, which are associated with panic and impaired judgment. Joshua Phillips completed his GED in prison, although he was initially told he was too young to do it, and later took college classes by correspondence. Phillips works as a paralegal in prison, assisting other inmates with their appeals, and also works as a tutor for inmates. He also plays guitar in a band and participates in Christian religious services. Literally, it's gonna make me cry right now. I feel like he's innocent, you guys. I feel like he's innocent. During his 2017 appeal, the prosecution acknowledged that Phillip had been a model prisoner. As of 2008, Phillip declined to write a letter of apology to Clifton's family, saying they deserved an apology from him in person as they would not be able to see his sincerity in a letter. Clifton's mother subsequently stated she had no interest in talking to Phillips. On June 27, 2000, Steve Phillips was killed in a car accident, and there we have it. It's called fucking karma. I think Joshua's dad killed Maddie. How, when, where, I don't know. Maybe he came home and saw that Joshua was playing with Maddie. He didn't want Joshua to play with any kids. He just wanted him to go to school, come back, not go anywhere, not talk to anybody, not do anything. Let alone play with a little girl. Like, that was like a definite no-no. So he comes home, he sees that they're playing in the backyard, playing baseball. He gets mad, he's drunk, he's doing drugs, and he hits her, or he throws the ball at her and says, get out of here. I don't know, you guys, my mind is like racing. And he's like, yeah, just get out of here, like go home or something. The ball hits her in the face and they panic. So he beats the shit out of her with the baseball bat, the dad. And then he decides to take her upstairs and stuff her under Joshua's bed and have his son take the blame because he's a sick, narcissistic, alcoholic, drug addict, disgusting pig. And these stories are so triggering for me because I don't know for the people that are new here, but I was in a domestic violence. I'm a survivor of domestic violence with someone who was on drugs, on meth, and I didn't know. His entire family is disgusting, on drugs and alcoholics and drug addicts and homeless in the streets. I didn't know. And I had just lost my brother and he had unalived himself, so I was in this very vulnerable state, and this person came in like a predator, used me, abused me, took all my resources, took my magic. I helped him, rescued him, healed him, got him a job, got him on his 2 feet, and then he left and abandoned me. So this is so very triggering for me, because an alcoholic, drug addict person, they don't give a fuck about anybody. It's just about them and their needs. They don't give a fuck. So I think that Joshua's dad did this. Whatever his fucking name is, Steven, I guess. Yeah, Steve Phillips. He did it. And he was like, well, I'm not going to go to prison. No, fuck that shit. Because if I go to prison, how am I going to do drugs and drink? So then my son is going to take the blame. So he puts the body under his son's bed. The wife obviously finds it, freaks out, calls the cops. Next thing you know, the son is arrested, and they don't want him to testify. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Are you fucking kidding me right now? No one can see that there's something wrong here. That there's something wrong here, right? Like, there's something wrong with the story, you guys. There's something wrong with the story for me. I just can't. But if indeed this is what happened, now this is speculation, I don't know. It's not facts, I don't know. If indeed this is something that had happened, then karma did its thing. Killed the father in a car accident in year 2000. So fuck him if the father had anything to do with it. And at the same time, I do feel really, really bad for Joshua, because I think at age 14, I don't know. Even if it was an accident and if he had done something like that, they had to be looking at the fact that he was already abused. He probably had PTSD. He was getting beaten by his dad. He was watching his dad beat on his mom. He grew up in a very fucked up home. Like, there's actually reports, like Bailey was saying that in the video, that the actual clinical psychologist said in the report that Joshua grew up in a very fucked up atmosphere. Like, it's actual quotes from the psychologist or the therapist that looked at his case. So to me, even if he did it, it should have been not like life in prison. Like, he could have been like serving like 20 years or something like that. And if he showed no resemblance of violence or anything like that, they should just like let him go. I don't know, you guys. That's how I feel about it. You guys definitely let me know what you think about this case. The makeup came out really beautiful, I'm not gonna lie. Lipstick is goals. I use my lipsticks as eyeshadows, as blush, as lipstick. It's Velour liquid lipstick, so it goes on wet. When it dries down, it doesn't budge. Everything's vegan, organic, cruelty free. If you guys are interested in my products, go to EYESHAODW.com. This is Amber. And if you guys like content like this, please give this video a like, subscribe. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. I may not be here tomorrow if it's Friday. Yeah, I may be out of town. Let me know your thoughts down below. At the end of the day, it's a very sad story because 2 innocent young lives were taken. And I just don't understand why some people are allowed to have kids. If you're an alcoholic, drug addict, you have no business having kids. I'm sorry, you just don't. That's my personal opinion. Do what you want to do with it. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next video for another true crime and makeup. Bye, guys.